So I had an interesting meeting the other day with a potential client about a wedding that they're doing in July. I know, it's like tomorrow, it's like 6 months away. And I thought I would talk about it a little bit. Hi, I'm Bill. This is Creative License. Thanks again for being a part of my little dog and pony show. Thank you also to be, for those of you who are so nice to my sponsors, Electro Voice, Promo Only, Disc Jockey News, DJ Event Planner, and of course, my workshop, the Entertainment Experience. One of them is coming up in North Carolina. If you want to know more about it, just reach out to me. So, it was a lovely call. We were on Zoom. These two were in Arizona, and they're getting married and having their reception about 10 hours from Minneapolis and St. Paul, and they had heard about me through somebody. You know how it is. If you're like me, most of your business lives and dies by word of mouth. And he had seen me at a wedding, actually had seen me at two weddings, so he was so excited. I am trying to get to know him a little bit to find out if this is going to be as good a match as he is hoping it's going to be. And you know, you've had those people that are they're just chomping at the bit, right? They're just really excited. They want to be a part of what you have to do because they've seen you, because they're excited about you. The problem was, though, while I'm watching them on Zoom and we're talking, he's really excited, but like sitting an entire chair behind him was his fiance. And she wasn't very animated in that she didn't seem excited, right? I kept trying to bring her into the conversation. He kept talking about what he was excited about. She in fact was, or is, from another country, another culture. And at one point, you know, she's like cowering, literally pulled herself back, you know, looking down. She's wiped away a tear. So what I did, instead of close, because it would have been easy to close with this gentleman with, you know, his money ready to be spent, is I stopped and I said, let me talk to you for a little bit. And her and I talked, and I listened, and what I found out was, from the country she was from, weddings are not these things that they do huge events, right? They're family gatherings. They're in the backyard. They're at the house. Moms cook. It's a celebration, but it's a celebration for family only, small, intimate. So the idea of doing something that she thought of as American, because they are looking at having almost 700 people at this wedding. And all she could think about was how this wasn't anything like what she remembered growing up in the country she was from. In fact, I could see that with every idea that came up, she was getting smaller and quieter. And when it finally came out, she was just overwhelmed by the idea that she had to do this thing that she had zero idea about. She had to be a part of this event that had, it seemingly, nothing to do with her. Because when it's all done, they're going to get married in America. She's going to have about 6 people from her culture and her family who are visiting. And she's not sure how to make all these Americans happy with the wedding she's doing. Well, it took a little bit before I kind of understood what she was worrying about. I told her just what I'm telling you, almost word for word. This is what I see. This is what it looks like you're going through. And she nodded and she teared up a little more. And she smiled and thanked me for noticing. And then I said, you know, weddings are not designed so that you have to spend a lot of money on things that you don't really care about. You know that, right? I mean, none of the things in the wedding are things you have to do unless you're getting married in the church, and the church has rules, right? But a reception should really be a reflection of the people who are getting married. And we talked some more. And we talked about the things that she remembers from the wedding she had been in. And I said, well, what about that? Why don't you do that? Well, I didn't think I could. Well, sure you can. You could add this, you could add that. We can create this, we can create that. It is the two of you. And the two of you come from very different places. And you found a way to coexist because of who you guys are, even though you've come from two very different places. This whole celebration should be about that. Not just you're showing up and smiling at a wedding that you're not sure you really are excited about. Now, I could tell that that the groom hadn't had this conversation with her. Which brought out some emotion from him, and now all of a sudden they're talking back and forth to each other for the very first time about something that they probably should have talked about before they talked to me. It was, now, have they hired me yet? No. Are they gonna? I don't know. I literally only need to have a certain amount of events a year. But I really wanted to be sure that I want to be sure that the people I work with are excited about creating something for themselves, for each other. Not to hire me and have me try to figure something out. Okay, I can figure out something for people that are really excited about having something figured out for them, that are willing to share, that are willing to put themselves and their love of each other, their culture, their families, their friends into their celebration. That's what I want to do. And that's what I told them. I'll tell you, I don't know when this airs, I may have booked it, I don't know. But what I do know is if they do, I know I can work for them. Because by the end of the call, they were both laughing. We're both having fun. We're all enjoying each other's company and excited about the future of their wedding and reception. And if they don't, I gave something to them that they didn't think was possible. And one of the things about weddings is that we, as entertainers, create the impossible. Everybody else in weddings create what you've already seen. When you can create something that people haven't seen, when you can share with them something that matters to them, if you can listen long enough to hear what's really going on, then you have a real connection. And a connection is what I'm going for. Do I sell everybody I sit with? No, but I certainly do connect. What do you think of this? Tell me what you think of it in the comments below. I'm okay if you disagree. Many of you would have sold that person in the first 10 minutes. I could have. Anyway, I'm not making an argument here. I'm just saying, that's how I did it, and this is what I did, and this is what I enjoyed about it. I'm Bill. This is Creative License, and I will see you next week.